Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in the Rye Podcast. Episode 91, I think. Should have looked. Guest today is going to be Mike Baldwin, comedian / podcaster. He's got a special out called the number one top selling best comedy special ever. It's on YouTube, recorded by 800 Pound Gorilla. Awesome special. Before we bring him in, let's talk about some of my shows I got coming up. And let's fix my hair a little bit. January 2nd and 3rd, I'll be at Hyenas in Fort Worth. January 9th and 10th, I'll be at Hyenas in Dallas. January 22nd, I'll be headlining the Inn of the Mountain Gods in Mescalero, New Mexico. January 22nd, or 26th, I'll be headlining Honda Casino in Pine Top, Arizona. January 30th and 31st, featuring for Jeff Dye at Hyenas in Albuquerque. February 28th, I'll be with Steve Gillespie at Tumble Root in Santa Fe. April 3rd and 4th, headlining the Chattanooga Comedy Catch. That's in Tennessee. April 18th, I'll be opening for a guy named Honest John in Albuquerque. May 1st and 2nd, headlining the West River Comedy Club in Rapid City, South Dakota. And May 7th through 9th, I'll be at License Number 1 in Boulder, Colorado. And for my Albuquerque listeners, Mike Baldwin, my guest, will be headlining Hyenas January 2nd and 3rd. So get tickets to see Mike. Go check him out and enjoy the podcast. Dang, Mike Baldwin, what's up, dude?
What? Oh,
What's up?
Hey. Is it okay if I smoke in here?
For sure. Yeah. As long as you don't blow it in my face. I have asthma.
I won't. That would be very disrespectful of me. So you have a podcast? What's it about? What do we do?
It's not about anything, really. I just kind of interview people that I like, comedians and musicians and actors and stuff. Just kind of... I like to find out sometimes like their writing process or like their creative process. Sometimes I like to hear stories. I don't know. We just kind of go with the flow and see what happens.
All right. So we're not going to talk about Marvel movies and stuff?
Well, I'm wearing a Marvel shirt just because you mentioned Marvel earlier. So I was like, I'll wear my Marvel shirt.
Nice. I'm just wearing my robe because I dickishly asked in like disrespect of your podcast. Like, if I do your podcast, can I wear my robe? And you were like, you can wear anything that you want.
You can.
Like, all right, I'm gonna fucking do it then. So this is my first robed podcast.
I like it.
I got this from my dad. This is what my daddy left me when he left the earth. Was this robe?
It looks like a comfortable robe.
He didn't like leave it in his will or anything. It was just like, do you want this robe of your dad's? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll take that robe. And that was in 2010. That's how long I've had this robe.
Oh, wow.
And he had it for several years before that. But regardless, anyway, Marvel movies are good. I'm excited for Dr. Doom. I just watched the new Fantastic Four movie. That was
a good one.
It was enjoyable. I liked it. Yeah. And I am just watching The Marvels for the first time. And I enjoy it also.
Yeah.
They're all good. Watch that one. Every Marvel thing is like, yeah, that was fine.
The only ones I don't really like, I think, are... I'm not a big fan of Captain America for some reason.
I mean,
it's probably the guy. That Chris Evans guy, I don't like him that much.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you don't like the guy, then it's hard to suspend your beliefs, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like all the people.
Yeah.
But, well, I take that back. I'm not a big fan of Mark Ruffalo. I'm not a fan of his non-Hollywood opinions and whatnot.
Oh,
but
yeah. He's a good actor, though.
I love some stuff that he's in, though. And he does a good job playing the Hulk when he's like not the Hulk, you know?
Yeah, he's no Lou Ferrigno though. That son of a bitch.
Is anybody?
No.
All right, so now we switch gears and I'll teach you my writing process.
Okay, good. Well, I was going to tell you, I met Lou Ferrigno. Have you ever met Lou Ferrigno? Holy
No,
shit, dude.
why would I
I don't
have?
know. You've met
Okay.
people. You've met famous people, right?
I met the kid from Terminator 2 when
See?
I lived in LA once, and he was fucked up.
Of course he was.
He was just walking down the street, and I was like, "Hey, Terminator 2," and he was like, "Yep, that's right, that's my name."
It's definitely not Furlong. That was him, right? Edward Furlong.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He was also in American History X.
He was. I feel like your audio is only coming in through one side here. Let me see.
Well, I don't know. Does it? I'm adjusting this. Did that change anything?
Nah, it should be fine.
All right. Maybe I blame your headphones.
Yeah, it's definitely my headphones. I've only used them once.
Or it'll just be an hour-long podcast of only people being able to hear you and then
I fixed the problem.
face.
It wasn't plugged in all the way.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm stupid. Anyway, yeah, so you did some drugs with Edward Furlong. That's cool.
I didn't do drugs with him. I just talked to him for a second.
Yeah, okay, Mike. If that's the story you want to tell. Is he alive still?
I have no reason to suspect that he isn't.
Oh, well, I do because of all the drugs, but
I'm gonna ask the internet.
Yeah, we actually watched Terminator 2. Remember at the condo?
We did. That's right. Yes. See, that's how non-Hollywood I am. Is that I didn't even tell that story.
You didn't even bring that up, dude.
He was born in 1977, and he's currently 48 years old.
Jeez, so he's barely older than us.
I know. That's what I've gone through those phases in my life. Like a few years after I graduated high school, I would watch like the Olympics, and be like, I'm older than all of these fucking people.
Yeah.
Like what the hell's happening to me, And then 10 years later, I'm in my 30s watching football going, dude, I'm older than a lot of these people. And now, I mean, I can't, people call me sir and shit, Like we're officially at that age where we're like the old people. And it makes me kind of sad that I didn't realize that all the old people when I was young were just people like me.
Yeah.
Who's like, dude, I don't know what's going on with everything. But to me, they were like the wise ones that had all the answers,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember watching like sitcoms like Roseanne and stuff, like, man, they're so old. And like, it's like, I'm older than them now.
Yeah. I was DJ's age. I grew up with DJ Connor, that's another story because I can remember like holding a pillow from the couch over my face so my parents wouldn't see me laugh during the episode where DJ was masturbating. And I didn't want my parents to know that I understood all of the references that they were making,
Yeah.
So
your mom probably did your laundry, so she knew.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my mom, well, this was years later, but my mom fully walked in on me one time, like right in the middle of the deed. And as far as I know, that's one thing I've wondered about my family. And the more I think about it and the way that I know I am, like, I always wondered, like, do my parents, are they just oblivious to the fact that I smoke weed all the time? Or do they know and just choose to not say anything about it? And the more I look back, they definitely knew. And I'm just a non-confrontational kind of guy, And I think my parents were also. So they were just like, they probably talked about me to each other and then was like, one of us should say something. And they're like, it's just weed. Like, it's better
as long as you don't fuck anything up. Like if you fucked something up or something while you're high, maybe they have the conversation. But like if you messed up like a Thanksgiving dinner or some shit.
Yeah. But I always used to think I was so smooth,
Yeah.
And looking back now, it's just like, no, I wasn't even a little bit.
Were your parents weed smokers?
Maybe a little when they were well before my time, but
Yeah.
not during my life. No.
Yeah.
I know that my aunt was. I joke about that on stage about
Uh-huh.
walking into a high school party at like age 15 and being like, why does it smell exactly like my Aunt Judy's house in here? But regardless, yes. My
Hell yeah.
parents never did, though. No.
Yeah. Not okay. Yeah,
Not while I was alive.
I found out my mom was a big pothead. We were going through some of her old high school stuff, and she had a little nameplate and said Toker on it. And I was like, what is that? She was like, oh, that was my nickname in high school. I was like, oh, okay. So you're a big pothead.
Was she still during your life?
She quit probably when I was like in high school.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
remember that happening?
Well, you know what? She didn't smoke when I was younger. I think she smoked a little bit after she got divorced from my dad. You know, because she really didn't party when she was married to my dad, and then when they got divorced, she had like a few party years, because she didn't get to do shit,
Yeah.
which was
How
awesome, for her.
how old was she when she got divorced?
She would have been 34, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
God, seeing that just sounds so young now, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, oh, to be 34 again. But I can
Yeah.
remember being 12 and being like, Mr. Johnson's 34? Like,
Yeah.
God,
He's
I'll
probably gonna
never
die
be that
soon.
old. Yeah, he probably has terminal cancer.
Where did you grow up? Did you grow up in Kansas City?
Outside of Kansas City, Independence, Missouri, yes.
Oh, right on.
I went to the same. I've heard stories of kids that moved around and had to switch schools, and I never had to switch schools.
Yeah.
Other than the transition from elementary to junior high and then
Yeah.
junior high to high school. But that was switching schools with a bunch of my friends.
Yeah.
So I never had that like I'm the new kid thing or anything.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't really have like I moved from a really small town in Iowa to another small town. So I was kind of the new kid in third grade, but then our schools like merged once you hit middle school. So like a bunch of my friends from the other school came to my middle school. So that was pretty cool.
Yep, that is cool.
Yeah.
That's how like our junior high school was made up of like 5 elementary schools, you know? So
Oh
it was
yeah.
like all the kids I knew from elementary school plus hundreds of other new kids.
Yeah.
And then there was another junior high school on the other side of Independence, Missouri, and some of my friends, that part's not important. So then in high school, the 2 junior high schools got merged, but then they were split by a different line. So there were some people from my junior high school that went to the opposing high school, and there were a bunch of kids from the opposing junior high school that went to my high school. So it was a kind of a weird thing, but it helped everybody get along. Like I went to Truman High School, and then there was Chrisman High School also, and we would have like Truman, Chrisman, like merge parties, and everybody knew somebody that they hadn't seen in a year or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was always kind of a cool thing. Looking back now, at the time, you have nothing to compare it to, so you don't know how it's different. But
for sure,
looking back now, it's like, yeah, I bet they did that on purpose.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Your smoke's getting over here.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. So I'm excited that you're coming to Albuquerque, even though I'm not going to be in town. But I have a lot of listeners from Albuquerque. So you're going to be here January 2nd and 3rd at Hyenas, which is awesome. Dude, the room is great.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not as big as the Dallas and Fort Worth ones, but it seats probably like 160-ish. And Randy knows how to set up a room. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. Yeah.
I have no doubt. I'm always surprised with how busy it is when I go to Dallas and Fort Worth. And I'm like, and I'll ask the audience, like, does anybody know who I am? And like almost nobody ever does. So I'm just like, what is he telling people to get them to come see me? You know what I mean?
Have you performed in Albuquerque before?
No, never.
Oh, really? Cool.
I've done the state of New Mexico, just casinos and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, never Albuquerque. So
cool,
I'm
man.
looking forward to it. And it's not a crazy, ridiculous drive. It's like 9 hours from Wichita.
Yeah, it's not a bad drive at all. It's boring as shit, but yeah.
I don't drive to like have crazy shit happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My entertainment is inside the car with me. So I don't like when people say it's a boring drive. What's a fucking exciting drive?
Yeah. Plus, if you drive off the road, you're not going to hit anything, which is nice.
Yeah, I did that in a snowstorm in like Wyoming or one of those, Utah or something once. Drove off the road because it was just a complete whiteout, dude.
Yeah.
And I was using the rumble strips on the road to tell me like whether I was still on the road or not. And I had a system down. I was basically driving with my eyes closed and just feeling, and I knew when I felt the rumble strips, that meant that I was veering too far to the right. So I would jerk it to the left a little and straighten back up. And I did that 4 or 5 times successfully. And then one time I felt the rumble strips and I didn't realize that I had veered all the way over to the other side of the road. So I was feeling the left side rumble strips, and then I jerked left a little bit, and I just drove myself right into the ditch.
Oh, man.
Yep. That was a crazy experience. Because earlier that day, they closed the highway down, and there were like 100 people at this truck stop thing. And they all gathered around, and the fire department came, and they were like, the firehouse or whatever is like a block or 2 from here. Like, we're going to lead a caravan. Just follow the lights. We got food, blankets, everything you need. Everybody can stay the night there and wait out this storm. And there were some truckers that were like, I got to get my load where it's going. So we're going to take this back road to this other thing. And then that connects down to the highway where the highway's open. And I was like, I'm going to follow these truckers. And they were going so fast, dude. They lost me within like 5 minutes. I couldn't even see the taillights anymore. And then I was just stranded by myself. And then I went off the road. Then I called 911. This is before like maps and all that, like smartphones, but I still had a cell phone. So I called 911 and they were like, we're sending somebody out. We think that we know exactly where you are. Just stay on the phone with us. And I waited a few minutes and they were like, do you hear a horn honking? And I listened and I did. And so then I honked my horn and that's how we found each other. And then they picked me up and took me to the exact same firehouse that everybody from the gas station was just at. So I had a good like 10 or 15 minutes when I got there of everybody going, hey, how was that? How was that? I'm not going to wait for the storm to pass. Shit. How'd that work out for you?
No, that wasn't me. Those are guys that look just like me.
But it was fun. It was overall, it was a fun experience looking back.
Yeah.
And then we went back the next day. And in my mind, as I'm driving, I'm just imagining like veering twists and turns and like giant cliffs that I was about to drive off or something. And it was just the straightest road that existed in the world. And it was all flat. So when I drove into like the ditch, it wasn't even a ditch. It was just on the side of the road, but I still got stuck. Anyway, that was a long story, but there you go.
Yeah, I've had some experiences like that. And luckily, it was like in a flat area.
Oh, what happened? Are you there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you froze. I took my subtitle away from my name, so both of our name tags would be even.
Oh, thank God.
It was bothering me.
I get so many complaints about that on my podcast.
Yep. What's your podcast called?
In the Rye Podcast.
In the Rye. Rye, like a shitty attitude.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, like WRY.
Yep. Oh, I see it up there now.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to talk about bread, we can talk about bread too, because I know how to make it.
Do you really?
Mm.
Dude, homemade bread is fucking awesome.
I don't know how to make. I don't know what rye bread is.
Oh, I don't really like rye bread, so.
But I don't know. I haven't learned that much yet. But I know how to make a loaf of like white bread.
Heck yeah.
Yep. It was
My
pretty
mom used to
exciting.
make that when we were younger. It's so good.
And I'm 44 years old now, and I wish that I had learned this shit when I was 16, dude, because I had no idea that like basically everything that has a bunch of carbs in it that tastes good is like the same basic ingredients, you know? It's like
Yeah.
flour and butter and water and like an egg or something, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all like you can make pasta, you can make bread, you can make
Oh
cinnamon
yeah.
rolls, fucking just anything you can think of.
Yeah.
Tortillas, all of that stuff is like
Mm-hmm.
just shit mixed together. It's
Yeah,
just
when I'm broke sometimes and I've just got like a few things in the pantry, there's this website you can go to and just type in all the ingredients you've got, and they just tell you stuff you can make with it.
yeah, that's what I use Grok for that. That's
Yeah.
my AI of choice.
Oh
And
yeah.
I did that for Christmas actually. I was like, I have this, and this, but I don't have like I had cookie ingredients, but I didn't have any chocolate chips or anything. So I didn't want to make chocolate chipless cookies. So I was like, what's a Christmassy sweet treat that I can make? And
Mm-hmm.
Grok gave me the idea of making snowball cookies.
Oh, nice.
So I made like round cookies and then I rolled them in powdered sugar and shit. And they were
Hell yeah.
great.
Hell yeah.
Yep, good times.
Thank you, Grok. Saving Christmas.
Dude, I'm not sure what's going to happen with AI, but I'm excited that we're living through this point in history.
Yeah, there's things I like about AI, but there's certainly things I don't like about it. Like
See,
I've
and go ahead.
like comedians trying to write jokes with AI,
Yeah,
or writing scripts with AI. It's like I don't like that part of it, but
but that's what's going to happen, dude.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I bet it's less than 3 years before we get a feature length movie that's 100% written and
For sure.
made by AI, and
Yeah.
I bet it'll be good as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And then but I think that's the same with every level of technology, you know? Like when
Mm-hmm.
Henry Ford started building a bunch of cars and stuff, the guys that like shovel horse shit are like, "Well, what are we supposed to do?" And people were probably picketing and whatever, you know, like screw cars, like
Yeah.
you're doing away with a whole industry here.
Mm-hmm.
People that do horseshoes and just all horse related stuff had to struggle during those decades after the invention of the automobile, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Fucking Henry Ford ruining lives.
Yeah, or
Making lives
coincidentally
better
making
also.
everything better for everybody. Yeah.
I know you wouldn't have been able to drive off the road in Wyoming without Henry Ford.
Yeah, my horse would have known exactly because they have different vision than humans.
That's
Horses
right.
can
He
see
feels that
through
rumble strip
snow.
and he's like, fuck this.
Uh-huh. Yep, good times.
Oh yeah. So what is your writing process?
Oh, well, it's different nowadays than it was in the beginning. I
Mhm.
tell myself often that I need to go back to doing things the way that I did before because
Yeah.
that's where a ton of my good material came from. I used to just force myself to physically write, you know,
Mhm.
and I would fill up at least one page in my notebook, even if I didn't have any ideas or anything.
Mhm.
Even if I was just writing, I'm forcing myself to fill up one page in my notebook.
Mhm.
Like I did that every day for a decade, probably. I have hundreds, not dozens at least, of full notebooks that I should bust out because I bet there's some gems in some of them
Mhm.
that I never did anything with. But yeah, so that's where a lot of my stuff came from. And then we would do open mic night on Mondays. And then on Tuesdays, the club would let us come in at like 10 in the morning. And there were like 5 to 10 of us, depending on, we did it for a long time, but we would go in on Tuesday and we would talk about how the previous night went, and then we would get a couple minutes to like work the joke out, and
That's
figure
cool.
out how to say it better. And so then we were all week long, we were excited to try again the next week, because we would be like, oh yeah, I'm going to say the word rock instead of stone, and the K sound is going to hit so much harder. And then you would try it and it would work. And then all you 5 or 10 guys would look at each other and be like, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is why we do this. And so we did that for a good 5 years, I would say, where we would do open mic Monday and then talk about it on Tuesday. And
that's awesome.
Plus, I was friends with all the, not all, but a lot of the comedians. So we were hanging out on Wednesdays and on the weekends and shit. Then the club would let us come and watch comedy on the weekends for free. My whole life was pretty much comedy, dude. All of the older guys always told me how lucky I was that I decided to start when I started. Because I started like right out of high school. I was like still 18,
Yeah.
And so they would say, like, you get to get your shitty years out of the way and then still be young when you're good at this. And they weren't wrong. Like, I mean, I was, featuring by the time I was like 23 or something. And
oh wow.
And then, I mean, I headlined when I was 23 too, but not well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah. But nowadays, well, since I can track it to the year, because I got my first iPhone in 2011, I believe. And ever since then, I don't write in notebooks anymore. I always just, anytime I think of a funny idea, I just type it into the notes in my phone, and then I riff it on stage.
Oh,
and not to say that doesn't work, because it still works. I've still written a shitload of jokes since then, but it's just not the same. And jokes don't, like, I have a lot of notebook jokes that I wrote that are like 5 minutes long, because I would write days in a row on the same subject, and I would have every conceivable angle of that thing, so it would lead to longer bits. And when you type it in your phone, it's just like a one-liner sort of joke. And if the audience doesn't go with that first punchline, then you don't have the confidence to like stretch it farther, or I don't, at least.
No, I feel you there.
So now it sucks, because I put out a comedy special at the end of 2023, and I told myself then, like, all right, I'm retiring all this stuff and I'm just starting from scratch, because in my mind, like, everybody's gonna see this special, and then nobody's gonna want to see it again when they buy tickets to me, And so then for the next year or whatever, I would ask the audiences when I got on stage, like, who's seen the special? Like, who's here because of the special? And I would have like one table of people clap. And I'm like, all right, who has no fucking clue who I am? And the room just erupts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, then I'm doing the classics, I guess.
That's funny. That was my mindset too. When I put up my special, I was like, all right, a bunch of people are going to see this, so I can retire this stuff. And I think it hasn't even hit like 4,000 views yet. So, but I do have enough material where I don't have to, like, I could do a headline set and not repeat any jokes on there, which is nice. I think we had this conversation when we were in Little Rock, though. Like you said that you like to always do like your best stuff, and I should probably do that too. But I just like not doing some of that stuff because I got so sick of it,
Yeah. Oh, I believe you, and I feel it every time I'm on stage, and anytime I say, there's like 5 lines that start bits that are like 5 minutes long. And anytime I say that first line, I just think, like, you pussy. Like, why are you doing this easy thing instead of working on, like, fuck this audience. If this audience hates you, so what? You're still going to learn from it,
Yeah.
But then there's that part of me that's like, no, but they bought tickets and I want to sell t-shirts to these people after the show. Like, I got to give them something that I know is going to get real laughs. You know what I mean? So anytime I say, like, I'm sober, like, I know that's going to lead to all of my drinking jokes, which is a good 5-6 minutes worth of shit. Or if I'm like, like, I like this job, like, this is better than my old jobs. And then I'm like, now I'm doing the job shit. And I know that's going to take 5 minutes, but I try to, like, pepper in as much new stuff as I can while still comfortably doing well on stage.
Yeah. And you can't tell, sometimes I feel like with myself, you can tell what jokes you're bored of and which ones are new. Like, I remember one time I was performing in Tulsa, and I don't know if you remember Dave Ashley. He passed away about 10 years ago, but he used to work at the club, and he was a comic too. But he came up to me after a set one time, and he was like, I could tell which jokes were new because you're so excited about them. And and then I was like, oh man, I wonder if the crowd can tell shit like that. Like, I knew Dave could tell because he was a comic, but like, but with you, like, watching you, like, I couldn't tell which jokes were old, which jokes were new. Well,
thank you.
Yeah, so that's a good thing, I think. Like, that's like that old thing where who said it? Dana Carvey maybe said something about, like, try to tell the joke like it's your first time telling it, something like that. So it feels like fresh and exciting, even though you've told it 1,000 times.
Yeah, I mean, I try to do that. I still have, there's still lines in my jokes where I have to go, oh, and another thing, and like, pretend I just thought of this thing that I wrote in 2002.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the crowd doesn't know. They're pretty stupid usually about comedy.
Yeah. Well, I learned that watching hacky ass hacks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Watching guys that are clearly doing another famous comedian's material, and the audiences are just loving it.
Yeah.
And no audience leaves going, that is a hack piece of shit. They were just like, God, that guy was so funny. And I'm a comedian going, he's not original.
Yeah.
He's not doing the thing that we all agreed to do.
Yeah. That's one thing I liked about, I started out at Laughs in Albuquerque, and Russ Rivas was the owner, and he was actually a comic. So when he saw someone hacking someone else's material, he would call him out on it, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah. There were some guys in the open mic scene that would pull you aside, and be like, you can't do that, dude.
Yeah.
Like I did, this is a fun story, I guess. I got booked at a place called Junior's Last Laugh in Erie, Pennsylvania. Do you know who Gary Minke is?
I know. Yeah, I've never met him, but yeah. Oh yeah.
Gary Minke used to be like the booker of all of the Funny Bones and Improvs. Like he wasn't he was the comedian that the booker knew and trusted. So he would get other comedians to do all these gigs, and he also booked some other stuff. So anyway, this is like super early in my career. I was probably, like I said, like 23, 24, and all of my jokes are just like, fucking chicks and like stinky pussy, like taking a shit stuff, like just all terrible. You know what I mean? Like stuff that open micers liked, but it was just a groaner. Anyway, so Gary Minke calls. I had done a few gigs for him already, and those audiences liked me enough, or the clubs, I guess, liked me enough that Gary was still calling me. So it was one of those things where it was like a Wednesday, and he was like, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, nothing, and he's like, okay, Junior's Last Laugh in Erie, Pennsylvania. And from Kansas City, that's like a fucking 20-hour drive or something ridiculous. And I was getting like $300 or something. I just wanted to do comedy. I didn't care. So I get to this club. I'm like an hour away from Erie, Pennsylvania, and Gary calls and he's like, "Hey, you're not like a dirty comic or anything, are you? Like, you're clean, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't cuss a lot or anything." And he was like, "All right, good, because this is a clean club, so you got to be clean." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, no big deal." And so I go up the first night, and it's just like groans from the audience, like audible groans, and people going and that kind of shit, because they had trained the town to know this is a clean club. You're going to hear nice, respectful things here, and it's going to be funny. And I'm just up there talking about, what, like, you can pee in the shower. Why can't you poop in the shower? You just mash it in with your foot, and it's like a poop cheese shredder. And people are just going, "Oh God." And so I just completely ate shit. The headliner probably got a standing ovation that night, because he just spent his first 10 minutes being like, "Oh geez, what is that guy's deal? Everybody hate that guy with me." And everybody was like, "We will." So it was a condo too. So I'm sharing a condo with this headliner, and I'm not going to out him or whatever, but he was like, "Man, that was rough, like your first time here, you young comic." And we went through all that. And he was like, "All right, who's your favorite comedian?" And I was like, "I don't know, like Mitch Hedberg or Brian Regan or something." And he goes, Yeah, Brian Regan, do his shit." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Listen, you're never going to get booked at this club again after last night. Like, that's a guarantee. If we had anybody to fill you in to cover for you, you probably wouldn't even do the weekend, but we don't. So you're here. So you might as well make the shows as good as you can for the audience and everybody." And I knew Brian Regan by heart, dude. Like, I had listened to his album 1,000 times. So I went up that next night and I did fucking word for word Brian Regan shit, talking about taking packages to the UPS and what does girth mean and all of this shit. Dude, I fucking killed. Like, and the manager or the owner guy or whatever, like, pulled me aside and he's like, "Where was all this last night? Like, this is what you should have been doing." And I was just like, "Yeah, all right," and so I sold CDs after the show, and they were just burned CDs.
You weren't selling Brian Regan CDs?
No, I was selling my dirty fucking inappropriate shit CDs, and I sold a good amount of them that weekend too. And so I'm sure there were just a ton of disappointed people that's like, "This is not the same guy. It can't be." But yeah, so anyway, that story leads to another story of me at a bar somewhere with like Kansas City comics that I knew, and I had to do like 20 minutes, and I was like 5 minutes in, and they weren't buying into any of it, and I just started doing Brian Regan shit then too. And this was like maybe 2 weeks after the Erie, Pennsylvania thing, and the audience loved it, and everything was great. And then in the car on the way back, all of the other comics in the car, I think there were 4 or 5 of us all together, were just like, "And what the fuck were you doing, dude?" And I was like, "It's not like I'm going to get booked at this place again. So you might as well give the audience." I was saying the same shit to them that the headliner said to me. And they were just like, "That doesn't fucking matter, dude."
Yeah.
Like, even if you have to start crying up there or whatever out of discomfort, like, you don't ever fucking do some other guy's material. Like, and they kind of went off on me. And then at the open mic night the following week, like, comics that weren't even there were like giving me weird looks and shit, and was like, "Heard you were fucking hacking material, dude." And I was like, it wasn't like it was a big deal, was the whole point of that long ass story. And so yeah, but that's one of those things that, looking back now, like, I'm lucky that I learned that when I was young, instead of having nobody say anything, and I would have kept doing it,
Yeah.
I would have become that guy that I hate now. That's like, that's doing what like Carlos Mencia used to do, like watch his opener and be like, "I could fucking use that joke. That's a good joke right there." So I'm glad that I got shit on by all of my peers. We had a good team of comedy in Kansas City.
That's good. I've always Tim Gaither always talks about how great the scene there was. He always talks about Brian Burgess, I think, was his favorite.
Yeah.
He was a guy I never got to see, but yeah, I remember. I've worked with Chris Porter and trying to think of who else is from Kansas City. Mike Baldwin when he wasn't doing Brian Regan stuff.
Don't know that guy. Yeah, there were a ton. Gaither, Porter, James Johan, Justin Leon, Craig Tonkinson was big when I was an open micer. Looking back now, he was just like featuring or something, but he was better than we were at my stage. Like I look at it as sort of high school stuff. Like when I was a freshman, these guys were like juniors probably, like Gaither and Porter and Justin Leon, and then there was another level above them of guys who were rarely at the open mic because they were on the road all the time doing actual work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so one of those guys would pop in every once in a while, and but I don't know, it was just fun, dude. Looking back, it was as fun of an experience as like going to college or whatever. Like I was just with the same people for years in a row, and we were all learning from each other. We were all getting better.
That's so cool.
We all like supported each other, and it was just a really cool thing that I just fell into, you know?
Yeah. Like, how did you get started doing comedy? Did you always want to do it, or?
I always thought about it. Like I always loved comedy as a kid. The first time I ever did it was in the 6th grade talent show, and I was a hack then too. I hacked Richard Jenny's HBO comedy special minus the cuss words.
Yeah.
And I crushed my 6th grade talent show, dude. Like parents and stuff were like rocking back and forth, laughing and clapping and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was
it was so good.
It was a good feeling. And yeah, like I was in 6th grade. My 5th grade teacher gave me a handwritten note, and it was taped to my desk the next day after the talent show. And I saved it for several years. I wish I still had it, but it was just like, you found your calling, and don't let this opportunity pass you by, and really stick with it. And it's going to take a lot of hard work and, all the classic teacher shit. But it was really cool to like have that support just immediately. And that just clicked a thing in my brain where I was like, well, I could do this forever, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But then I didn't.
That'd be funny if that teacher watched that Richard Jenny special like a year later or whatever.
It's like, what
the fuck? Calls you. He's like, you hack son of a bitch.
Yeah, that would be funny and sad. So I'm glad that didn't happen. But
yeah, me too. But yeah, I mean, that's a good place to start. I mean, that's like how a lot of musicians start too. Like playing other people's shit.
Sure.
So. So that's a good like I definitely didn't steal any jokes when I started out, but I definitely emulated Stephen Wright's style, because he was always one of my favorites, and I kind of wanted to be like him, like with the one-liners and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you go to any open mic, this is what I used to do, like when there started to become more open micers in town, I would go to open mics and I would just close my eyes when someone was on stage, and I can guess who their influences were just by listening to them.
Yeah, you can hear that a little bit even nowadays if you watch an open mic night.
Yeah.
You can be like, man, this guy's definitely a fan of this other guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I had that happen to me a few times. Like whatever comedian I was listening to during that period would like influence my comedy. I got fired in, I think it was Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Maybe it wasn't. It was somewhere up there in that general region. But I got fired from a club for saying the word cunt on stage because I was listening to Louis C.K. so much leading up to that weekend, And yeah, it was a whole long thing, but at some point I was just like to an audience member, I was just like, you're just being such a cunt right now. And the whole crowd was just like, oh no. And everybody just turned on me. And yeah, the manager was just like, well, you're fired. And I was like,
man.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
It sucked, man. That was one of those heartbreaking trips. I cried, I think, in the car driving back because I was just like, I just made no money and everybody hates me.
Yeah. Is that the only time you've been fired?
That's the only time I've been fired for cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like I've showed up to clubs where I thought I was booked. And and they were just like, what? No, who did you talk to? Because we got so and so this weekend. And
oh man,
I'm just like, what? Like, I got people in the audience here. And I've had that kind of shit happen. But no, the South Dakota thing was the only time that they were just like, you're fired.
Damn. That's got to be brutal.
It was, dude. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah, I've never been fired. I kind of fired myself one time. I was doing like it was like a county fair type of thing. And me and my buddy each had to do 30 minutes, like squeaky clean material. And I was almost done with my first set. We had to do 2 sets. We had to do one in the afternoon and then hang out and do one like in the early evening. And the first one, it was going well for a while, and then I did a hemorrhoid joke, and the lady kicked me off stage. And like I was almost done, and she kicked me off stage, and I gave her half the money back, and I was like, I'm not coming back for the other show.
And she was like, you're right.
No, she just kind of stared at me, and I just walked off.
So she like came up on stage, like
she was not on stage. She was like, she was just happened to be walking through the crowd, and I guess the hemorrhoid joke was too gross for her, and she just started yelling, no, and I was like, okay. She's like, get off the stage. And I was like, all right.
Was it going well at all before the hemorrhoid?
Yeah, it was going great. Everything was going great.
Was the audience like, what?
Audience, yeah, there was kids there, and they were having a good time. I was doing some crowd work with these little kids, and they were having a blast. And
but hemorrhoids was
it was going well, and yeah, that was just, and I wasn't even like doing anything graphic about it. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's like the only part she heard or whatever. But she was like, no, get off the stage. And I was like, all right.
Wow.
So yeah, but I mean, it was a fucking county fair. I had to follow like something to do with cows and shit, you know.
Mm-hmm. The Future Farmers of America spokesperson.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
What else?
Oh yeah, let's see. What else we got? Your specials out. You do a podcast with Tim. That's good. Have you guys recorded an episode lately? Seems like you haven't.
We did one the week before last. We took the week off for Christmas. And other personal tragedies.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you've talked about any of that, but yeah, so all of that stuff started a little bit before Christmas. So I think the episode that we recorded most recently, I think Tim was too busy to even post that episode. So we might be 3 weeks behind right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's going to post that episode since it's been a while now. I don't know how topical it still is or what we're going to do exactly, but I that's what I like about us doing a podcast is that both of us are just like, look, if you don't want to do it today, we don't have to.
Yeah.
And when the other one's like, yeah, I can't, then I feel like both of us are secretly like, cool.
Yeah, but you guys have been like super consistent, man. You've only missed like I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I mean, you're well over 100 episodes, and you've only missed like 3 or 4 weeks, I feel like.
Yeah, we've been pretty consistent about it, but
yeah, that's awesome.
I like it. I'll go back and listen to it every once in a while, just because I like the things that we talk about. We get way more political and way more like conspiracy theory-ish and
for sure,
and that kind of stuff. And I love talking about that kind of stuff. Like I've been a Trump guy literally since the beginning.
Yeah,
since the Mexicans are rapists thing. That I watched live on television, and right when he said it, I was like, he could have said that better, but I knew what he was saying.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to watch every single news channel say Donald Trump thinks that Mexicans are rapists. And I was just like, that's not, the first time I saw it, I was like, that's not what he said. Like, clearly he didn't. So that began my journey of like, why are all of these people from all of these different news organizations, why do they all agree that even though that's not what Trump said, that's what he meant? And then since that, I've seen it 1,000 other times with every single thing that Trump does. I've seen them twist it to make it either seem not as good as Trump says that it is, or to make it seem way bad, even though that's not what Trump was saying. And so
I don't watch anything political. I watch your guys' podcast because Tim's my best friend and stuff. So that's where I get a lot of my info is from videos on your podcast and stuff like that.
That's all you need.
And well, I like your podcast because you a lot of times you'll play devil's advocate and you'll look at it on the other side, like why they would spin it that way or why they would see it that way. So I think that's why I like your podcast a lot too, is because it's not just, you're not just bashing one side all the time. Like it's not constant, and you keep it, you obviously have, your views and why you like what he says and what he does and stuff like that. So yeah, it's fun to watch. I like watching you guys go back and forth, and then I like when you guys talk comedy too. So you sprinkle in a good amount of comedy also.
We try to, yeah. And we sprinkle in some videos that aren't political at all. Anytime I see a video that I'm like, that would be good for the show. Let's watch this. Otter eat watermelon. Everybody likes that, And you just see an adorable otter making like noises that if a human was eating that way, you would be like, what is fucking wrong with you, dude? But when an otter does it, it's adorable. Anyway,
have you thought about doing a comedy podcast at all? Or no?
I think every single morning, I think I should just go live right now. And just talk. Nobody's going to see it, so I'll be able to practice at least and figure out.
It'd be kind of like doing the way you did comedy or your writing before. Just wake up, have your coffee and weed, throw on your dad's robe, and just start talking, And if something comes of it, maybe something you could throw in your act or something, I think that would be enjoyable,
Well, maybe I'll do it, and when I do, then I'll text you the link. But I'm
not going to be up that early, but I'll watch it later.
The link will work after you wake up.
This is this might be the earliest I've podcasted before.
Well, it was gonna be even earlier.
I know,
because you messed up the time zones.
Oh my god, yeah, because like last night I was gonna text my friend John, and I was like, well, he's in Texas. So he's an hour ahead, so he might be asleep. And I was like, oh shit, Mike's in fucking the central time zone too. And I looked at the text and I was like, oh shit. That means I would have to
be up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I was like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, because you said let's do it at 9. And I even because I said like the earlier the better. But I meant like, noon or something. And you were like, how's 9 a.m.? And I was like, man, you do go early. Yeah, that'll work. And then, yeah, I woke up this morning to a text, which was nice because I woke up at like 8:15 this morning. So,
Oh, really?
meaning I would have had to rush a little bit to get through all of my comfortable morning routine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I woke up to that text, I was like, oh, dude, I don't have 45 minutes. I have 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah. Thanks for accommodating that too.
We're getting to the point of the day where I can't even see the screen anymore because it's so
the sun.
Yeah, I need to change my living room around. I might do that today.
Yeah. And then go live on Monday.
I might go live today, dude. You never know. When does this go up? Is it live right now?
No, it's not live. I'll probably post it Monday.
Okay.
I like to post on either Mondays or Wednesdays. I've read that those are the best days to put out content.
Yeah, so, I can see that. Do you go for a particular time?
Usually early in the morning. Like I'll have it set to post while I'm still asleep.
Yeah.
And then once I wake up is when I start like really like, because I have a thing where like it'll automatically post to YouTube at a certain time, and then it'll post to my Twitter or whatever at a certain time. And
yeah, I was reading about the different times for different apps, sort of thing. Like Facebook, you can post at 7:00 in the morning, and you'll get people that watch it all day long. But if you try that on X, people aren't going to sit through. They got to work. You know what I mean? So they're not going to. They can't listen or watch anything that's long and like involved or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So with X, it's best to wait until like around 5:00 in the evening when people are getting off work and they're sitting down at home and thinking, all right, what am I going to watch tonight on the TV? They got the remote in their hand and they're just flipping through shit on X at the same moment. And then your hope is to get them locked into your shit to where whatever's on the TV is just paused for an hour.
Yeah.
But, you know, nobody fucking watches anything that I do. So I don't know why I would listen to anything that I say about when to do anything. But I have
I'm always like, I don't think anyone watches my podcast. I had a comedian drop the N-bomb on here and nobody said shit about it. So I was like, that's how I know nobody's watching.
Right? Because if you had fans, then they would have been pissed.
Someone would be like, hey, notice you didn't cut out the N-bomb there.
It's all right. It'll hopefully one day you get famous enough that will come back and ruin your career for you.
I hope so. I mean, it won't be me. I didn't say it. I'll just blame it on my producer, which is also me.
But you don't need to say that. Hopefully they don't dig up this episode too.
Oh, they won't. I'm not gonna. I think I'm past the age where I'm gonna get famous doing comedy. So, which is fine with me.
I mean, you literally never know, though, dude. All it takes is one clip, one podcast, one of anything to go viral, and then you're selling out clubs all over the country for the next year.
Yeah, and at least I have an act to back it up.
That's what I was going to say, and then that's the secret, because that's one thing that I've seen 100 times over the years is somebody that gets famous, gets booked, and then does shitty. And then that club goes, well, we're never fucking booking that guy again.
Yeah.
Because all the comment cards are terrible. The audience leaves going, I thought he was what he was in the video that I saw, you know?
Yeah.
And he wasn't that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, why didn't he use his Instagram filters on stage?
Right. I mean, I worked with, do you know who Nicole Birch is? She's Nurse Rachel on like TikTok or whatever. I don't know if that's her name, but she basically does in a nurse outfit, shows x-rays of people who have had shit stuck up their ass that they've taken x-rays of. But it's like, how does that transfer to stage? She's one of the ones that I think did a really good job of it. Cause like she did like 45 minutes. Her first 30 minutes is just her being a comedian, because that's what she was before she made one video of people
Mhm.
shoving shit up their ass and it went crazy viral. And she was like, well,
Yeah.
I guess I have to add this now, you know?
Yeah.
But she's got the act to go with it. So like she'll be funny for 30 minutes and then she literally just says, okay, everybody just wait 1 second. I'm going to go change into my nurse outfit. Then I'll come back. I'm going to do the Nurse Rachel shit and then we'll call it a night, you know?
Yeah.
And by then the audience is 100% on her side, dude. Like
Mhm.
it was pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
I liked working with her.
Yeah. That's awesome. Where did you work with her at?
We did, I think it was a Wednesday, Thursday in Oklahoma. We did like a Wednesday at the Tulsa Bricktown, and then we did a Thursday at the Oklahoma City Bricktown.
Sweet.
And both of them were like not sold out, but like hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was cool. And it was nice seeing someone get a following off of something and then be able to benefit from it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like the first time seeing someone who had been like famous for something stupid. I remember I was at the Denver Improv. I was featuring with Chris Porter. It was a Sunday night. I think Chris maybe sold like 70 tickets to our show. And Chris is like one of the best comics out there. And whoever this other dipshit was had like a fucking line out the door. Like, because he was performing after us. He had like a Sunday late show. And I didn't want to stick around to watch it. And my buddy was hosting the show. And I texted him later on. I was like, how bad was that guy? And he's like, this was the worst show I've ever seen in my life. I was like, of course it was.
Will you tell me who the guy was after the show's over?
I don't even know if I remember.
Ah, okay. So that unforgettable.
Yeah. I feel like his name started with Lil, Lil.
Okay.
So he's like I don't know if he's a rapper trying to do comedy or what. But it was little something.
All right.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we should probably wrap this up. It's about to hit an hour. Go see Mike at Hyenas in Albuquerque, January 2nd and 3rd. Tickets are on sale right now.
It's like $10 ticket weekend or something.
Yeah, it's a holiday ticket weekend or something. They're on sale, a little cheaper than normal, which is awesome. Especially this time of year, a lot of people are broke as shit. So
I know I am. That's why I'm excited for this weekend, because I know that even if I do shitty, I'm still going to make enough money to pay my bills for the month.
Heck yeah.
And if I do really well, then I'll make enough to pay my bills for the month and not starve to death.
Yeah, and it seems like a pretty decent merch room, even though it's a pretty small room. But yeah, it's awesome. The door guys are all comics, and the staff is cool. They don't do like meals. It's just like popcorn and snacks and shit like that. So nobody's like eating like a full meal while you're performing.
Is it a hotel that you get with it?
Yeah.
And it's nearby, or is it like
it's nearby? Yeah.
Like walking distance, or
I think so.
All right.
Because one of the dudes I worked with before, I offered him a ride to the hotel, and he was like, "Nah, I can walk." So
very cool.
Either he didn't like me, or it was really close.
Those are my second favorite kind, other than when the show is in the hotel that you're staying at.
That's the best.
That's always my favorite. And I don't even drink anymore. And a lot of the reason that I liked that so much was from my drinking days.
For sure.
But it's also still just conveniently cool.
It's so nice. Yeah, that's why I miss the Wichita Looney Bin.
Where the condo was attached to the loony bin.
I thought that was cool.
So did I. And it's for perverted reasons too, because you can just meet a lady and be like, we can go literally 20 feet that way.
I thought you meant so you could masturbate like 2 minutes before you go on stage.
That too. if the lady thing doesn't work out. No,
Yeah.
I'm a masturbate before bed kind of guy. I never masturbate to get my day going.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But
that would be awkward for the live podcast when you go
right.
live.
I'm just like, hey,
First thing
what's
when
up?
you wake up.
What is up, everybody? Sorry, if I have something on me, it's probably not cum. Anyway, we'll cover all of that and more on the next episode.
That's right. Yeah, have fun in Albuquerque. There's a lot of restaurants in the area too. There's a movie theater right next to the club. I mean, not like you're here for a long time, but
I'll probably leave Thursday and drive overnight and then hopefully get there at like noon or so on Friday. And then I will sleep the day away and then do the show Friday. So yeah, I probably won't do much else. I'll get food, but I doubt I'll go see a movie. Though I do want to see what's it called? David and Goliath. I would like to see that movie.
Oh yeah. Is that one coming out soon?
It's out. It came out,
it's out already. Okay.
the week before Christmas.
Nice.
And it was the -- 2 film in America behind whatever else just came out. Something.
The Neil Diamond one?
No. What did just? Oh, Avatar, I think.
Yeah.
The new Avatar just came out, which I'll wait and see that when it's on HBO.
Yeah, that's going to be the same as the other Avatars.
I have to assume so, but I feel like they're leading towards like an in-game style, like final movie, you know, where it's like all the Avatar people all working together. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
Well, have fun in Albuquerque. Go get tickets now to see Mike at Hyenas in Albuquerque.
Yeah, you can go to
see me also.
You can go to MikeIsFunny.com.
Oh yeah, MikeIsFunny.com.
There's links there. You can watch my special. Don't watch too much of it because it might spoil some of the shit. Oh, and my grandma's calling, so let's wrap it up.
Perfect timing. All right, see you, buddy.
Later.